of one monomer at a time. And RNA can get hydrolyzed too, where the hydrolysis rate of a phosphodiester bond depends on whether the two nucleotides connecting it are paired or not. And we can classify the phosphodiester bonds by their propensity to be hydrolyzed. So take a look at this picture. The bonds which are marked unprotected, they have the highest hydrolysis rate, and the bonds which are marked protected, they have the lowest hydrolysis rate. The semi-protected bonds have somewhat intermediate range of hydrolysis rate. So our goal is to form RNA molecules with complex secondary structures non-enzymatically, because such complex secondary structures can be seen as a proxy for catalytic function. And in our through our simulation, we detected these four kind of secondary structures, where from left to right there is an increase of complexity. So to start our model, we note that the different types of reactions mentioned earlier require different temperatures at their optimal reaction condition. The concatenation reaction requires high temperature and dry condition. Template directed primer extension requires somewhat lower temperature and presence of intermediate amount of water. And finally, the hydrolysis happens at even lower temperature and requires presence of large amount of water. So based on this, we segregated the three reactions in three different phases throughout a day. Morning to noon, we call it dry phase, where concatenation happens. Afternoon, evening, we call it semi-wet phase, where template directed primer extension happens. And late night, we call it wet phase, when hydrolysis happens. So this way, the three phases will occur periodically for many days. And we use experimental rates for these processes. And we choose the location of our system to be a mineral-rich muddy area on prebiotic earth, because it is found that in presence of minerals, the reaction rates get enhanced. So during the dry phase, two monomers or one oligomer and one monomer can concatenate to form a longer oligomer. It follows by the semi-wet phase. At the start of the semi-wet phase, we find out how many strands can act as templates with a given probability. This, where the E is the folding free energy of a strand. We choose this kind of functional dependence of probability because the lower the free energy of a strand, the more likely for it to fold into a secondary structure than to act as a template. So we calculate the folding free energies and secondary structures for each strand with a software called the VNRNA package. Then after choosing the strand templates, the templates will undergo the template directed primer extension reaction, where the primer extension rate depends on the type of the incoming monomer and also on the type of the nucleotide on the template across which the incoming monomer binds. And it further depends on whether there was a match or there was a mismatch in the previous step. And it is found that after a mismatch, the extension rates get reduced significantly and the chances of another mismatch increases. The semi-wet phase is followed by the wet phase, where template primer pairs and the folded single strands can get hydrolyzed in a structure dependent fashion. and then it follows by the next dry phase where the template primer pairs will separate and the phone length single strands will unfold because of the high temperature of the dry phase. Now there can be many smaller strands as a result of hydrolysis in the previous wet phase, and the smaller Lilian strands will again undergo the concatenation reaction, and this way the three phases will occur periodically for many days. We used Gillespie algorithm to simulate all these reactions, and as I've said, we have detected these four kind of secondary structures through our simulation. Here we have plotted the abundance of these four structures for different durations of the dry and semi-wet phase. As you can see, for small to medium durations, we mainly get these simple structures like single hairpin and double hairpin. However, for larger durations of the dry and semi-wet phases, more complex structures like the hammerhead and the cloverleaf structures emerge. So this was the main result of
Shubham,
our...
you have, sorry to interrupt, you have 2 more minutes left to talk.
Okay. Yeah. So this was the main result of our first paper. In the follow-up work, we tried to address the second question. We note that lipid molecules can form spontaneously on prebiotic earth and they can self-aggregate to form lipid vesicles. Now, there are certain advantages in encapsulation of RNA molecules in lipid vesicles. Some of them are RNA molecules survive better inside vesicles, and encapsulation of RNA inside vesicles can lead to vesicle growth at the expense of vesicles which contain no RNA inside them. So this motivated us to develop a protocell model using another type of replication called rolling circle replication. Here, if you can see the figure, a small primer first attaches to a circular template, which then extends to full length. Upon becoming full length, it can extend further by displacing its other end, which creates a hanging tail. When the tail becomes too long, it gets separated from the system and becomes an open-ended strand. So we incorporate the rolling circle replication process inside protocells, and we assume creation of ribozymes or replicase, cyclase, nucleotide synthase, and peptidyl transferase through erroneous replication. Because in the previous model, one of the results was that erroneous replication increases structural complexity. And we also incorporate competition among the protocells and try to find out whether protocells with functionally diverse ribozymes emerge or not, or whether they dominate over the protocells with less functional diversity. So I will show you one of the results where we considered creation of two types of ribozymes, replicase and cyclase. Here we have plotted the fractional abundance of protocells containing replicase or cyclase or both of them or none of them for three cases where the creation probability of replicase is higher than the probability for cyclase. The second is lesser than, and the third one is equal. We can see that we get the highest abundance for the third case, which indicates that it is more advantageous when replicase and cyclase are created with equal probabilities because they work synergistically to enhance the creation of each other. And such diverse protocells dominate over the population. And we have obtained similar results when we included the creation of 4 types of ribozymes, where we obtain large protocells containing all 4 types of ribozymes, and they dominate over the population. So the conclusion of our first work is that segregation of reaction in different phases facilitated the emergence of long RNA polymers, and the type of structures generated depend crucially on the duration of the dry and semi-wet phases. The templated and non-templated, both kind of reactions play an important role And the secondary structures emerged include hammerhead and cloverleaf structures, which are found in real ribozymes and tRNA. And for the second work, we can say that rolling circle replication and protocellular competition can result in protocells evolving towards increasing functional diversity. And so this way, this a pathway from the RNA world to a primitive cellular life could have emerged. So I would like to thank my supervisor and collaborators, Supervisor Dr. Supratim Sengupta, and collaborators Julian Sir, Sudha Ma'am, and Neeraj Adi. So thank you.
Thank you, Shubham, for the talk.
Yes.
So we have a question from Nilanjana ma'am. So she said, she asked actually, by moderate and large, are you implying molar concentrations?
Which part?
So
Ma'am,
Shubham,
Oh yeah, this one.
early in the talk, you indicated that there were different amounts of water available that could lead to different kinds of, I guess, assembly or conformational transitions. Semi-wet phase, wet phase, those
Yeah.
kinds of things. So, can you quantify those ideas? Are you talking of,
Yeah, we consider the temperature only and assume that mm, the variation of water levels at water levels for the different
so I mean,
phases, but we didn't use the quantity of water
no, but
exclusively.
because you're going to molecular properties, so to me, it appears that you should be quantifying these at the molecular level. I mean, what is the environment of water around a particular RNA molecule? Okay, I mean, when you say wet and semi-wet and all those phases, you're probably talking about you're probably considering large patches of land or something. I don't know, but then you kind of your hypothesis is very much connected to the water availability. I was wondering if you could
It is more related to the temperature, actually.
more related to the temperature. Okay.
Temperature, and we assume that with the temperature variation, there is a variation of water levels.
Okay, so the
And
water level comes
you,
indirectly. It
yeah,
is
water levels is indirect.
So,
And you were
can
saying the location. I have,
question.
yeah,
So, do you have salt in your solvent? Salt molecules, ions?
yeah.
Which temperature
We
are you
assumed a
using here?
mineral-rich environment because it is found that in presence of minerals like magnesium, etc.,
Right.
the primer extension rates and concatenation rates
So, when you
get.
say water levels change, do you mean that finally the concentration? Because it definitely cannot become dry, right? It is in the. So what do you? I did not understand what you mean by water level changes.
No, it never becomes completely dry.
So, what do you mean by large amount of water? Mane,
So during the night
there,
phase,
not there. I mean, if it is there, then are you talking about very dilute solutions when you say large amount of water?
yeah.
Then
So
you're talking about muddy environment. So it's a little unclear.
muddy environment which get periodically replenished by water at the night time.
Okay,
In the in the
we are
daytime,
we are
it's
actually
muddy.
running late, so can you discuss this after the talk? You can
Sure,
yes,
sure.
certainly we can
obviously
discuss
post
this.
post this in a comment section, and Shubham can try to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.